Awesome. I was gonna add a FYI here, but I added a link to my UX coverage items for while I'm out of office. And I think also last Friday I had my a 101 with Juan, the sync, just to go over all the items and tell him the state of the 13.5 issues. Yeah, since we already have some things that are ongoing and some merge requests that I already reviewed with Nathan, I think he will be, yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the biggest issues are going to be like supporting the combo boxes with milestones that Jake will be working on. And then we have like the releases page, dog fooding issues that Nathan's in progress for. And I think that's it.
And we also have, hey Nadia, we also have some merge requests that Jake is working on, but I think Amelia is already reviewing those. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. This is Jake. Okay. All right. And then Jack, I just wanted to kind of touch base on the navigation and release management topic. Maybe you can, I don't know, we discussed this briefly, but then you saw my gigantic comment on the navigation merge request.
So eventually Tim Hay and I will connect on what scope we think we can carve up for release management. And then I'm thinking in like 13.7, we will schedule navigation items. So we'll pretty much remove any focus on release management features and we'll just deliver scope for navigation. And I think it'll, one, be a really great opportunity to give the team a breather on release management scope and then to learn a whole new problem set. And then I think what we can do is contribute additional fixes, more like kind of like MVCs along the way, but not as comprehensively as we will in that 13.7 or 13.8 milestone. So the intent is that you'll have 13.6 to eventually ramp up on the designs and get familiar with the designs so that you can review the MRs that the team then delivers. And then I expect there will be lots of back-end work that the team will be able to deliver in 13.7. And it may be that we deliver the back-end work in 13.7 and then 13.8 is when we deliver some of the front-end changes to navigation. Given that I expect we'll have to deliver them behind a feature flag, we may want to verify that they're working first and then enable the feature flags and ship them on .com in the middle of 13.8 or something like that. So high level overview, I know that the overall page today describes that they want to separate navigation from settings, but I believe that just like you were saying, they're inextricably connected to how the user experiences GitLab. A lot of their interactions are based in how they set up the features and how they configure the features, which are in the settings panel. So we'll need to kind of figure out how to bridge that gap, and whether that's we start incrementally and we really clean up the CI/CD operation settings first, or we work with operations to define the scope on navigation, or we just burn down the backlog. I'll work with Tim A on how he feels is the right priority there. But the reason why we're looking at navigation is that there's a larger revenue opportunity in navigation than there is for release evidence. So I would like our team to contribute to the larger revenue opportunity now and to help activate that money. Because release evidence won't be what people buy us for some time. It'll be a long-term investment for us. And if we can enrich the experience of users navigating GitLab faster and help ignite that effort, I think we can multiply our install base's revenue a little bit more seamlessly than what we would be doing contributing to release evidence. So eventually we'll get, like 10 years from now, maybe release evidence will be the reason why people come to GitLab. But I think navigation and making those problems better or resolving those problems will be a reason why people decide to stay with GitLab. And that, I think that's worth more investment, more worthy of investment than release evidence is right now.
Awesome.
Jackie, when you say release evidence, is that the dashboards that we're building, or that's something connected to the audits? I don't know.
Oh, well, release evidence is a category. Like it's an actual,
Gotcha.
it's a JSON file attached to the release object. And right now it's a minimal feature that has the JSON file, and we had to take a bunch of data out of it because of some security implications. And we've been adding things back. But I have a shortcut that I'm going to investigate, which is adding the chain of custody report that we have today to the release object as a CSV, and then have that actually be the release evidence object, because that's human readable, which is the requirement that users are asking for. And it would pull in the merge request data that they need, filtered by the release and connected to the milestone. So I think that we can solve the problem with release evidence that we were looking for originally by leveraging the upstream compliance report without recreating the wheel, which is what we were doing with release evidence. Because what we wanted to do downstream was create an object to diff, so to compare evidence over time inside of GitLab. But in reconsideration, I don't know if that will be worth the squeeze, because the persona of an auditor isn't in GitLab.
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting point. And again, we've done a lot of research at Xebia Labs with as well. The CSV file was really upvoted because actually people could just use it and import it into the other tools that they've been dealing with the data. It wasn't also like, wasn't the Xebia Labs, probably won't be the GitLab product, like as you're saying. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. It sounds like, an interesting thinking there. Yeah, I don't know if there is an issue to read about that, that would be cool.
We haven't really created an issue yet, because the navigation page I think was merged on Friday. So we've been moving at light speed. I can get what I will do though is make a category release evidence page update and let people know that we'll be divesting in release evidence as a formal acknowledgement that we're going to be prioritizing navigation, which is outside of release management, to support a greater company initiative, which is like an awkward non-precedent thing. Like we've never done that at GitLab before. I think it's kind of like a prototype, if you will. Like we're just going to be putting release evidence on ice and then moving forward with something else that has greater opportunity.
Yeah, I see. I think that makes sense. Interesting to experiment with that and see what it brings. Yeah, thanks.
And Jackie, when you mentioned that we're gonna be doing some designs in the front end, the growth team, what I understood is that they're going to be now focused fully on navigation and everything else, or just like some part of their efforts also include navigation. Do you know what's the state?
So this will be a category within the growth team. So just like how release evidence is a category within our stage or within our group, it'll be one component of it. So the way that I foresee this happening is that they'll create designs and then we'll be a community contributor to that effort. And in an effort to get this merged faster, we may want you to do design reviews. So like you will be reviewing the design, the MRs of our team to the spec that Jackie created, right? Yeah. Jackie Bauer.
Yeah, so that's the cross collaboration on this category. Okay, I got it. Okay, sounds good. I'm looking forward, and especially that with growth is Matei and team. So they have experience with navigation, also with settings. So I think that's going to be very easy to align with their teams. So I'm looking forward. Very exciting.
Yeah, and it's unprecedented. I like being the pioneer of a new way of working. So that's kind of a cool thing to be testing out.
That's awesome. Cool. Anything for my other points about what's in progress right now? Nothing's in progress.
You finished everything up. So I went on ahead and moved out that expand environments per project to 13.8. So that way we have a full 2 milestones to do design planning, verification, breaking down, all that normal stuff that we do. And then when you get back, I have rehydrated your needs UX epic. So you have about 10 issues in your needs UX epic that we can review. All of that will be for like 13.8, 13.9, 14.0, 14.1 as we start looking ahead, because it includes some of the secrets management issues, and we'll start getting into our next year's scope. Can't believe it's already like the end of the year.
I know. I count my milestones.
I know. It feels so weird. I think we only have like a couple of milestones left. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was talking with Nicole. Sorry to interrupt. I was talking with Nicole that maybe for December's milestone, we only do a bug bash. So we don't schedule any direction items, and we just let the team burn down P2s and P3s. I think that this will be a really cool opportunity for us to also get ahead on the navigation scope and maybe anything else that we want to do.
This is awesome. I think the free milestone that we had was super fun, and we burnt down so many issues. I think it's going to be like some house cleaning, end of the year, preparing everything for.
I think for me too, I want them to always have like a sharp mind and not to be dulled by hearing the same problems that we're solving. And I think like if we can give them different angles of our customers and different ways of how the product is problematic, that they can come up with more innovative solutions as an engineer. I want them to feel fully empowered with coming to me with a different way to solve a problem. And the best way we can do that is by giving them more exposure to the surface of GitLab. And the only way we can do that is by giving them the opportunity to explore. And I can't do that if I'm populating milestones with hundreds of direction items. Like, although it says something that our direction's correct because we're the voice of the customer from Gartner, we have moved maturity for secrets management, we're doing all the right things, but we need to solve problems faster and more innovatively. And I think the only way we can do that is by giving them more exposure to the platform. And you do as a designer, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking forward to tackling some of the front-end issues already put in the backlog. So that's going to be interesting. Oh yes, and also the 3-year vision, mocks Jackie. Do you want to do something about it now in October? Is there anything that we can think of or schedule for this period?
So I think what I'll do as far as scheduling like a meeting, like a follow-up for us to like walk through them, we should probably do that. Yes. If you're more than welcome to schedule a sync on that if you want to walk through your final designs. I only haven't done that because Dimitri's out of office. So I just didn't want to like prematurely schedule Flow A review if Flow A isn't updated, right?
Yeah. I'm back on the 5th. So I'm back on the 2nd, but it's a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Dimitri,
actually same as Dimitri, Hayana. So you're coming back at the same time approximately. So that's a good.
Yay!
Yeah. Right.
So let's schedule a sync, and then you guys can walk through the flow. And what Ori and I can do then is create our narrative on walking through, and then record us talking about the user flow, and then publish that for the sales team. And that'll be a really cool like November kickoff for them.
I'll try to find a spot in our calendars. It's scary when I find like 4 different people, and I'll set up what do you call that, placeholder.
Jackie, a question. Do all PMs have similar timelines for the 3 years mock-ups vision?
I don't even know if anyone's thought of the 3-year mock-ups. I think that we were the first ones to really do this.
No, CI testing, they did start. I'm not sure. I think testing was pretty close to finishing as well. CI is also working on that, but I'm curious. I got some questions around that and was curious if there is a date, the due date for that initiative.
No, we're just working. We originally were working for them for the 1st of December so that we can lead sales kickoff, because that's the goal was to get ahead of sales kickoff to give them ammo to go talk to each other about something like release compelling content. I think we'll miss that event, but we'll lead their QBR event in January. So we'll have content for that.
I
But
see.
I haven't talked to other groups, obviously, because I think I briefly knew testing was working on it, and I knew Jason asked me to add 3-year mocks to our product process, but I didn't know that anyone was creating mocks.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Okay. I think that's Nadia. Which one did you say? The testing that they also have, or was it package that you mentioned?
Testing, and CI. CI is already, well, they are doing some prep work, and testing is quite far into the building the mocks.
Very cool. That's so awesome.
I think that the main difference that we did everything high fidelity. Yeah, it was very painful, but having from the start.
Yeah,
I
know that Juan used like some not that high fidelity designs on purpose, because this is what James was asking for, like not even using like the pajamas components, not to be focusing on the super like high pixel stuff. This is how they have approached that. But,
okay. I'm setting up a call.
I think there's definitely a time and place for both of that, for sure.
Okay. And sending. My God, I'm scheduling a meeting in October. It feels super weird. Okay, done.
It's crazy. My dad's birthday is in October, and usually I know like, oh my God, the end of the year is near. It's almost fall. I get to bring out like scarves and stuff, and I almost had a panic attack because I feel like I haven't finished the things I needed to before the end of the year.
Well, we get to November, that's it. Then it's Christmas and Thanksgiving, US, everybody's out. So
you know, we just jump off a cliff, we're gone. And then we rise from the ashes in January.
Exactly. It's like, don't forget our court, you know, the year's not over until the end of January. We get one more month.
Love that fiscal year. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Hayana, I hope that your house renovations and all of that stuff is good. And if you don't mind, you need to send us pictures and all that stuff.
I will. I'm planning my, picture in front of the house holding the keys and everything.
Oh,
fun.
I'll be like looking and seeing myself, and it would be like so.
Yeah.
I won't be jealous at all.
Since I met Nadia, like maybe 3 years ago, that Nadia is building a house. So,
Right.
Yes,
and she's
after
still building a house.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway, yeah, your moment is right now, Hayana. So enjoy that. Hopefully that all goes smooth. You won't find anything like,
hopefully.
Screw
Let's
your
see.
plan.
I'm excited. And then if you have any problems, don't ping me, ping Juan. I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, buzz off if you have any problems.
Just don't have any problems. That's it. Just don't have any.
Actually, just die if you have a problem. Well, thank you all so much. We'll talk soon. Well, I mean, in 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Sounds good, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.